Hello everyone. So it's Monday and I managed to stream today for a while, and I will be continuing on the Slayer thingy that I have done in here. And also in the last week a friend of mine showed me artists that I have no idea how I forgot about. Wei Wang. I don't know how to pronounce it, so let me just write it. So you could check him out. He did like vast majority of artworks. Wang. Vast majority of artworks for World of Warcraft and Blizzard and everything. Like he's basically a master, I believe, at this point. And also, I really like the way he is painting and that he painted this pretty much. As far as I know, he did. Like entirely. And I kind of like the style of it, so I will try to like kind of study it a bit to just incorporate this guy. And also all this like metal parts and everything kind of make me want to give him some sort of an armor, like some leather straps or whatnot. Some fur. We will see how it will go, but this is like the quality benchmark that I hope maybe I will reach. So yeah, that's pretty much it. And also, let me just turn on the page. Finally, I have finished the tutorial and that you can see like in here. So it's on wingfox.com or jihu.cc. So basically in here, I show how I did this illustration, how I designed the mecha. Basically everything in here is explained. Also in here you can see me with the longer bird. So yeah, this is like the mecha, and everything that pretty much I know is pretty much in here. So if you want to like support me and buy a nice tutorial, hopefully nice, this is the place to go. So let me go back to the Photoshop and let's just paint our fella. So the first thing that I would like to do is to actually simplify the background, because as I can see on Wei Wang artwork, it's much simpler in terms of a background. So I will do basically the same thing. I have the general idea on the light setup already. On the details, I will leave a little bit of the ground because I like how the ground is like presenting in here, and it kind of fits like the entire character. But I might also add a bit of a shadow on the ground, so maybe, just maybe, it will allow me to understand the volumes a bit better in a better manner. So adding a simple shadow should do the trick. Also, I want the shadow to be black, not like purple. So yeah, basically I will do this. So this way I will have a better vision on the entire character. So this is one of the things that I really like in the way Wang is working. The second thing is like the sheer quality of the render is absolutely mental. As you can see, it looks like basically like real life. So if you compare this to long way to go, but with this guy, I believe I will be able to basically like study some things, especially since this phase like of an orc is already like kinda demonic, so it should make it a bit easier for me to like study. And also a cool thing that I could do is to basically duplicate this guy, make it much smaller, so I could see how the details basically look in a smaller scale. And this is the pressing. As you can see, it still looks like perfectly fine. This one does not. And yeah, basically the same thing I will do with this. So let me take a face. And these guys will be my references. So also other thing that I really like to do is to like copy a part of a body and place it somewhere where I will be able to see it like constantly, even if, well, even if I am zooming in. Okay, this one needs to be in here. So yeah, And also for this area, like this chest area thingy, I thought about searching for some sort of a reference where someone is doing like a chest pump or chest workout or whatever. So it looks like this. And just give me a second. Okay, it does work, it seems. So yeah, because I was like kind of struggling with this area, so this gives me the idea on how this area should look like. And a lot of work needs to be done with this guy, since I really want him to like push me a bit in terms of like a skill set. So the first thing that I am noticing is the chest muscle actually is kind of like going in a way of the bicep and everything. I have no idea if this is like correct, but it kind of looks like it's hiding behind a bit. Like, I mean, the intersections suggest that it should, but I think it should go like a little bit more like this. So it will be hiding some things in here. In the armpit there should be like the space for this like weird looking muscle in here, and definitely this area, like painting this type of a thing, it's really hard. I really hate this area in terms of like drawing or painting. It's just hard to paint nicely. So yeah, but we will see. Later I will ask someone to like overpaint on it, so it should work. Also, I forgot to post that on the Discord server that it is stream day. So let me quickly Discord. Turn on the Discord and let me just post that the stream is happening. Live stream. Live stream is on. Okay. It is posted. Now I can like quit Discord again. And let's see. Also a really nice idea to like go away with this area, like rendering of this area, is to just cover this area with some sort of a like weapon or something like this. But yeah, basically this muscle will go like this, bicep will go like in here. Maybe I will be able to search for like a 3D model. Oh, and I just found a better reference. I knew there has to be a better reference. Maybe not in terms of like muscularity, but in terms of a pose, it's much closer to what I need. Okay. So I guess the chest should be like bigger. There should be this indentation. Then there will be like a clavicular part, like a clavicle. Now I can see I made a mistake with like how the clavicular bone should go, or that the arm muscle is a bit too like big in here. It should be like a little bit more to the back. So let me like rework it quickly. So now the clavicular bone will make a little bit more sense, I would say. Yeah, so it should go like, I believe like this maybe. And then on the bicep, there should be a bit of like a tendon visible. Then this part looks a bit odd, but okay. Hello, Mikołaj. And this part should have a little less of a crease because my demon has its arm bent a little bit less. So let's see how this looks and how this works. So something like this, I guess, should do the job. And in here there will be a bit of a tendons to the bicep. Yeah, but let's leave this area for now. Whoops. We turn off this guy and of course a wrong layer. And of course I pasted it wrong. The cool thing is if you use Ctrl Shift V, then you will paste the thing exactly where it was. Now let's see how Way does the colors. So basically the bright point is a bit desaturated, and to the shadows it really changes its hue and gets much more saturated. So basically we are going from 40% to like 80%. So basically double saturation. I know you cannot see the window, but I'm basically like just color picking on it and just trying to see how it looks. In my case, it's going from like 25 to 56. So I guess I could easily take this guy and kind of like maybe color balance him a bit. So I could make, I will work on a duplicate. So I will have all the shadows a bit more red and a bit darker. And now, instead of like painting, because I mean I should, I will just like remove the layer from not from the shadows. And this way I can pretty much really fine-tune the shadow color, its saturation, its darkness and brightness and everything. So it gives me quite a lot of like possibilities. I can do even something like this, which looks kind of retro, but we don't want it. We want him to be a little bit more like red. I think this looks okay. So now, as you can see, the color changes from, yeah, basically it gets more saturated. I like it a bit better. And the other thing that he does is sometimes he has like this spots of white light. So basically it's even brighter and even more desaturated, but the color stays the same. So when he goes with darker colors, the hue changes, but when he goes with the brighter colors, the hue does not change, which is a kinda nice information to have. So basically, if I have like this color and now I want to introduce a little bit more of a light on a new layer, then I can introduce a bit more light to some surfaces by using brighter, softer color, softer brush and brighter, more desaturated color without changing the hue. So it should look more or less like this. And also I need to have like a navigator open so I can see how everything looks. Whoops. On a small screen. So I guess this area needs to be brighter. The face will be brighter, I guess. On the face I have quite a lot of work to do if I want to like even get close to the quality, which does not really seem possible, but thanks for the cool work. I quite enjoy it too. Like, I mean, I enjoy making it. Like the chesticles. And I feel I will give this demon some sort of a, like, oh, there's this cool thing that is sometimes happening. I have seen it several times on bodybuilders when, like, in here the muscle kind of like make this curly thing type of a detail on a chest. So I guess it's made out of, it's because of the striations and everything. But yeah, this is definitely a cool thing. Do the chest muscle go? Yeah, they are covered by the shoulder muscle. So the shoulder muscle is covering the top part of, like, the ending of the chest muscle, and it's going like somewhere in here, and the bicep kind of like be in here, I guess. I don't know. I guess something like this we'll have to do at the moment. And some maybe striations on the bicep, because why not? And now let's see how he does on the reflected light. Is there something like this in here? Not really. But we can see on this teeth, for example, because it's like in the shadow, much more saturated. Yeah, the deep shadows are even more saturated and a bit brighter. So I guess in here I could take this color. Basically I cannot change it to be like more red. So I can only go like more saturated and a bit brighter. And the reflected light in here, I believe, could be even brighter. It does look like a jelly. It looks fake, so I won't do it right now. We will see how it should go later. Okay, and for the armor part, because I kind of feel like I want to give this guy some sort of an armor, even though on the original he had none. But I feel like rendering metal. So basically, some sort of a like darker, like reddish, bluish type of a color. And I guess we can start maybe like designing something. But yeah, so for a demon, I would feel you would wear a belt if you're like a huge ass demon. And in here, you could have some sort of a decoration or whatever. So basically the same type of an idea as is in here. Let me just quickly shine some light onto it. School is a bit pretentious, but no one cares. Maybe something like this. Like a bit of like type of an armor that kinda wraps around the forms. I'm not entirely even sure if I will be giving this guy an armor, but just for the sake of like trying to just do it. So in here the armor needs to be, yeah, it will bend. I mean, not bend, but it should like over. Basically the armor could go like in here, even on the hoof, and just add a spike on the hoof. This looks kinda neat. just for the idea. It goes a little bit more with this like Warcrafty type of a style, but I don't really like it. I think, I mean, I prefer Shadow of Mordor type of like metal details, like on the orcs they had some. Let me show you. Orc armor. So for example, as on this guy, I really like the shape of the armor, like the plating and everything. I just feel it's not really like kind of fits to all the demons and everything, and it's a little bit less pretentious. So we don't have all this like skulls and everything. I was never like a fan of like those type of armors. So let's see, maybe something like this. Let me see how it will look. Maybe, but just maybe, some sort of like spikes on top of it. Did it froze already? This is a quick one. So I need to save that one and turn it back on because it managed to freeze already. Let's reopen it. Did the entire Photoshop just froze? Hopefully not. Yep, it's working. So now I only see I need to like fill up the background because it will be annoying to me. Let me hide those faces for a moment. Let me hide this guy. So basically I can imagine like this fella having like this armor going like on in here, like on his crotch area, maybe, and then having like some leathery parts in here. Berserk had a lot of like really complex armors and everything, so I can imagine it's hard. Especially like now I have seen quite a lot of like images from, I forgot the guy's name, the author of it, but I know he died, so pretty much everyone is like drawing and painting stuff from Berserk. But yeah, it looks kind of like a diaper. I don't like the fact that it looks like a diaper. So I will just maybe give it like something like this. Do I like this type of a thing? Like leave the crotch area open? Kentara Miruawa, exactly. Do I like it? I don't know. It looks kind of dumb. It looks dumb. I like the leg piece though. The leg piece is really cool, I think. Especially with the hoof. So maybe on the arm. I like some like plates going on top of each other. And maybe on the shoulder, even though I really like the details in here. But I feel like this guy would be the type of a monster to wear this type of a like things. It looks relatively like okay on him. So other question is, if you have like a shoulder piece, how like exactly do you connect it? So how it is mounted, how it should be mounted on the body. Of course you can always say magic, but this is a bit of a lazy explanation. So if you are doing stuff like this, it's always worth to think about for a moment, like for at least a brief moment, on how he actually do wear those type of a thing. Do I want him to have like a spike in here? At the moment I'm just experimenting. I don't think this will make like the cut to a final piece, but we will see. Rendering metal also is like kind of fun. Like I enjoy rendering metal parts and everything, especially since in like work recently I had to render like shitload of metal and gold and stuff. So, but I think it's fun. It's really cool. For the arm pieces, like in here he could go like this or like this. So this could be like a little bit more massive in terms of, okay, some stuff like this. And let me add some like spikes. So since this is like a demon, he has some spikes. And it's not because Way One cut spikes on his forearm like armor. I'm completely not copying it. So, okay, why? Turn this one off. Hello, Zirtam. Fine, thanks. Everything is okay. Like the gyms are open. I can move again. Everything is going like slowly forward. I have nothing to like to be like a bitch on. So to bitch on, to be, I don't know if it's its expression or not, but yeah, all is fine, more or less. Nice. If you have anything that you would like to show or to get like a paint over on, feel free to like drop a link to an image. I will try to like draw or paint on top of it. Maybe I will spot some mistakes on everything. But yeah, that's for you if you would like to. I should be able to open links from Twitch. If we have spikes there, we also need spikes here. So basically this is like a spiky armor type of a thingy. So if you are like a demon, you like spikes. I'm not sure if it looks okay or cool or not, but this piece is purely to like study things, to search for new ways. So I think I will just roll with it. And I might add some spikes also in here. I kind of like it. I feel like this piece should wrap a little bit more around on the shoulder. Yeah, if you want to show it, it's no problem then. Like I always tell, I forgot to tell like this time. If anyone has like any questions whatsoever, just like feel free to ask them and to share your stuff. So I can like look at it if you want. So yeah, I have no idea. I mean, I can't open anything on like your stream at the moment, uh, because I have like both screens occupied, and I have no idea what I would do with audio. So yeah. Yeah, but as I said, if you have like a screenshot or whatever, just upload it somewhere and just send it. So it will like make a cut. It will do the trick. Some reds in here. Let me just color balance it. So for the demon, if you are like a demon, I can imagine you are like using a really demonic type of a steel. So I can imagine the steel from the depths to be a little bit more like bony in color or a little bit more like red in color. Yeah, I have two screens, but on the one I am like navigating on the stream, and the second one is for the painting. So yeah, and for the colors, I could imagine the thing being a little bit more like yellowish maybe. So it should feed the colors a bit better to this fella. Let me rework brightness type of a things on him. Upload it somewhere, like I don't know, like tiny image, some sort of a image hosting sites, and just drop a link to it. So it should be enough, I guess. I want to make some shadows a bit darker, as we have on the reference. So it will look actually a bit cooler, hopefully. The crotch area, the leg area, maybe. Yeah. And I kind of wonder if I should just go from top to the bottom and just render the shit out of him. I kind of like how the armor looks. It's like, it does not really make a lot of sense in terms of like how armors are made, but yeah, I like it. The belt. Okay, let me just try to open it on your stream then. Okay, I guess you can preview the artwork, then the thing. Okay, let me take a screenshot. I think I managed to take it. Okay, let me see. This is the bear. Kinda okay, like completely not my style. But I think you could go, that depends like what you want to achieve with it, like in the end, because on like one hand it kind of looks like it wants to be on the cute side, so you could go with like finish like this, and on the other hand it kind of looks like you want to go with it on the creepy side. And if you want to go with it on the creepy side, then you could go a little bit more with like this. I have no idea what game this one is from, but I know it's just like a horror or something like this. No. I have like turned off all the volume and everything because I would hear myself and it will like completely like mess me up. So yeah, for this guy, if you would like to just, I don't know, push it a bit further, I think maybe adding him like the area for the mouth would actually work. So it will like increase the volume. It will look a bit odd and stuff like this. Maybe it should be a bit more round. It's kind of hard to tell what you want to achieve with it. But for the eyes, for example, you could go with... It kind of looks like a beard now, not like an outline. You could go with like something... Several circles around the eyes to like emphasize on this like surprised type of a facial expression with stuff like this. And if you are planning to like shade it, then a really easy way to like shade it, just select the same color as you have in here. Then just take like a soft brush and go with multiply on it. So maybe this will like bring a bit more like life to it, because the background kind of suggests you want to go with some sort of a rendering in the future. So if you just basically select the same color, add multiply, it will like just do the trick. Especially for like these areas. And for the light, you can even select the same color and go with the screen. So if you select the screen and choose the same color, then you can like apply the light to it. So it should look a little bit more okayish. And that also depends if you want to like keep the lines, but usually with cartoons and everything, I like when the light also like lights up the line art. So yeah, I have no idea what does it mean to pass a command to you. Like it can be something on the Twitch, but I am vanilla on Twitch as hell, so yeah, so basically like this. And then you can just do this again from the bottom part. And it will look a bit better, I guess. Order. Sounds like a military in here. But depends. I'm not sure what you mean by it, but yeah. So basically this. It should make it a bit better. But as I said, depends on what you are going to, what you want to achieve with it. So yeah. If he has this belt over here, what does it connect to? Does it go just around him? It would sleep, I believe. Yeah, as I said, it's a bit not my style, so I could only like add light to it, I guess. So it's not that complex of a transformation, I would say. Are you God? No, but yesterday I helped a friend of mine, and after everything, she told me that Jesus, thank you, and I was like, Jesus really did nothing to help you in here. But yeah, it was kind of funny. Like how sometimes you just like say like Jesus thanks or God thanks or something like this. Even when someone is, for example, like not someone who is like a person who believes, they still use this like this expressions. If you have a wings on your back that basically connect to your ass, can you even wear a belt? You won't be able to wear like a belt. It will make it way harder for him to just like flap his wings. Huh. How do you connect an armor like this? Uh, it's almost proper English. I had to like focus for a bit to decipher it. Okay, let me check it out. Oh, I turned off the Discord, so if you would like to just send me a link or something like this. I don't feel like turning Discord back on again to have like 10,000, 10 million pop-ups and everything happen. Okay, so you are a demon and you want to wear an armor piece. You could have some sort of a like spike to just mount it onto your skin, because basically this is what they did in Hobbit Orcs. With this guy. And it's a really neat reference. Yeah, so this is how basically you avoid like logical problems. And I will just pin this armor to like his body, like melt it in. Diablo the Hobbit. Yeah, I recently finished like watching with my soul the Hobbit, and it turns out somehow I never saw a second part Hobbit. Like I watched the first one and the third one, and I never like watched the second part. I have no idea how it happened, but I finally watched it again, like for the first time, which is kind of weird because I was like 100% sure I have seen it, but turns out I don't, which is like extremely weird. I would not expect this to be a case. So okay, let's give me this type of a thing. And I really like how this armor type of a thing is look. I feel they have much better like vibe in terms of like being a demonic type of an armor instead of like just this beautiful like armors with skulls and everything. Basically this is like a ready-made type of an armor. You just take a demon, enhance him with metal, and he is good to go. Like, go away. You are no longer needed. So I really dig this type of a thing. I have seen this game. Like, I never understood the fuck is going on with it. Like, what this game actually is. It's like, I guess, not my type of a game. But yeah, I have seen it. So if we are imbuing him with metal, maybe I will try to like, because I really like the fact that he basically has like a metal skull. So maybe I could like utilize it somehow in this fella, so like melted parts to his chest or whatever, to his like forearms. Whoops. It will make like a cool thing to be rendered later. So maybe like it's growing into it. It's protruding in here. And stuff like this also is cool because it kind of gets rid of like the imperfect anatomy. So instead of like just keeping it imperfect, I can kind of like overcome the fact that I'm not that good with anatomy and kind of hide it, but in a logical manner. So sometimes, like, I mean, I could leave it like a bit uglier. That won't be a problem. But sometimes you can like change the disadvantage to advantage without many problems whatsoever. I like the metal parts sticking out of them. And I really feel the artist on Hobbit did a really good job with the orcs. I really don't like the dwarves. The dwarves, in my opinion, were like completely like badly done, like the worst example of dwarves you could imagine, in my opinion, because they look like just tiny humans, not like a dwarves. This was like my main problem. And the second thing is was like every single one of them just looked stupid, like silly. Like they tried to make dwarves dwarvy, and it kinda looked like they were just trying to copy Warhammer type of stuff instead of like trying to invent something on their own. So for example, when they did Gimli, you basically felt that Gimli is like a small dwarf, but he's like really like tightly packed, and he is really strong. In Hobbit, I felt like the dwarves are just like tiny humans. They look odd. You stream in event time on YouTube, ok? Okay. So I feel like the armor, when it's a little bit more like destroyed, works a bit better. Maybe if you have like a demon and you damage the demon badly enough, maybe they will like go back to hell, like the blacksmith of hell, and he will like, or she will like imbue the demons with metal parts, like repair them. So basically, like in here, if you like get messed up, some metal will like infuse your body. It's a really neat idea. I really enjoy it. It gives cool possibilities for enhancements for demons, because I don't think like if you're like a demon that you will go get like an infection or something like this. I feel like being a demon kind of prevents you from getting infections and stuff like this. So I guess it's justified. Yeah, I like him. It looks much cooler now, I think. Apart from like still lacking rendering, but I will take care of it soon. And now even the axe, kinda, I feel I can get rid of this skull, but I kinda like the skull actually in here. So let me just paint on the axe. Oh, on the axe is the same layer. I would prefer to have an axe as a separate layer, because this way I will be able to like maintain the sharp edge. Whoops. Sometimes I feel when it comes to like selecting by hand that when I'm using the lasso tool that I'm losing like like capabilities of doing something even. Like everything is skewed then. With this axe, the problem is it's mostly in the shadow, so it will mostly reflect light from the ground. So it will be a bit brighter, but not really, because it's quite far away from the ground. But like the areas like in here should catch a bit of a light, and the edge of it. And with the leather in here, go a little bit more like this, and the chain actually would be like a bit darker. I kind of like it now. I feel like maybe he should get... Should it be the same layer? Yes. I feel like he should get something on his tail. Actually, the tail imbued with metal could be like really neat. So basically from like time to time he gets like this huge spike on his tail. Maybe not as big as this, but something that goes like this. Nah. Yeah, so basically you are a demon. You don't really grow spikes on tail, but you still can like enhance yourself with the spikes on your tail, which makes relatively a lot of sense, because a demon like this might want to have some spikes on his tail. Or at least if I would look like this, I would prefer to have a spiky tail, and I would be quite upset if I won't grow it like naturally. And if we add a bit of like a magic to it and everything, then I feel having stuff like this is perfectly like easy to explain. Maybe not explain, to justify, I guess. I can't see the link, so I guess neither does he. Do I like this shit on this tail? Nah. Maybe he only has like this tip of the tail, like in a metal, or like only several parts. Yeah, this looks better. So there are like only several plates, that are like on the finish of a tail. This way he can like maintain everything, and maybe he even has like a hook. Like a spike on the end of the tail. Now I can see the link. Control C, Control V. No, it's a dead space type of a thingy. It looks cool. It's funny little small arms. They are actually, I guess, remaking the Dead Space 1. Yeah, it looks okay. The thing that you could do to make like all your drawings a little bit more interesting is try to avoid having really like boring shapes. So basically your head in here is like something like this, and nothing is happening in here like on the head. And if you were to like look at the head shape, school shape, I should say, even with stuff like this, there's a bit more happening in here. So you could say that, for example, the jawline goes like this, then it should go a little bit more like this, and maybe this part could be a little bit more like going to the back, and the entire like outline is not like a straight line, it's something kind of like this, so it makes the entire thing a bit more interesting. And the forehead part, and then the nose and the bones. Of course, if we would like to make him like a bit more like skeletal. But then, for example, you can experiment a bit with the shape of the jaw and like extrude the teeth to the front a bit more. And since this is like basically a mutated carcass, then I guess it could even go a bit more with like a bit weirder anatomy. So for example, a shoulder could be a little bit more like, kind of like swollen or something like this. And for the ribs, because they look kind of odd, rib cage. Notice that on the rib cage, basically the back part are going like, the back ribs are going like a little bit more to the down, like downwards, and the frontal rib also goes downwards. So basically, if we were to have like a plane, if a rib starts here, it will like end in here, so it goes like this direction. So from the front, it will go like, let's say like this. It will just go lower. So, but it kind of seems like the front ribs are missing, and this one are like kind of opened the back. So I guess adding some ribs kind of like show this idea that they are like taken back. It could make the entire thing a bit more interesting. And also keep in mind the angle of the ellipses for the spine. And for the intestines, don't be afraid to like just gargle them out. most likely it will look a bit more interesting. The collarbone. I think you should leave a bit of a chest on the front, so it will like the collarbone could like connect to something actually. And I guess it will look a little bit more interesting this way. So if we like turn this off, it's not a lot of changes, but it looks a little bit more like disgusting and a little bit less fat, I would say, or something like this. Same for the arm. If you have stuff like this, don't make it slightly extreme, make it much more extreme. I need to check something. Oh, nice. Yeah, with something like this. So yeah, I mean, the fact that you are redrawing does not mean you cannot change it. So basically, if I were to make like a study of this guy, there's no fucking way I will like that I will like maintain everything. Yeah. So the basic idea is if you want to make something scary or gory, don't go with like a slide version of it, just go with like a really hardcore version of it. So if something needs to be funny, make it like hilarious. If something needs to be scary, make it like really scary, like extremely scary. So for this guy, I kind of want him to be a little bit more demonic. I kind of used to like this face, but now I kind of feel something a bit more gruesome is needed. So let me just check orcs faces shadow of Mordor. Because I really think they nailed down the faces of orcs in Shadow of Mordor. Like they have so much emotion on them. Like they are just ugly. I can imagine the demons being also really ugly and mean and everything. So something like this should be a thing. Also, the crazy part is Wei Wang painting is still higher quality than like a finished 3D model render and everything. This is like absolutely mental in my opinion. But yeah. So okay, let me just turn back on the faces. Not the chest, where are the faces? Okay, here are the faces. And I guess I will just go from the top to the bottom with this fella right now. And I will just try to render the shit out of him. To make him look like really nice. So now, what I basically need to do is to like flex every single gray cell in my brain and make a nice painting. And my hard drive is not liking it because it started vibrating again. I guess soon my hard drive will die, so I do need to make some copies soon. I really wonder how many hours per painting Wei Wang spends to like achieve this like level of details. Like, is this like a week, a month? And the more probably version is that this is like 3 days or something like this. Because usually when I try to like guess how long something takes for like a complete like master, it turns out it takes them like, oh, well, I did this in like 2 or 3 days. And then you get a depression. Because it turns out they can do like crazy good things in like a no time. Bit of a light, rim light on the back, the head. With rim light you really need to be quite careful because it's extremely easy to overdo a rim light. It's really like easy to forget where is the border to like not completely like mess everything up with it. And usually when I see like it's also one of the things that is extremely easy to spot if you are like looking at a beginner's artwork or someone who is a little bit more advanced, that the beginners would really often like make a rim light around the entire character from like the top to the bottom, while in real life it would take a really powerful like, lamps to actually make this type of a rim light. So it pretty much makes not much sense in terms of like a logic of light to like give a rim light on top of the entire character, but yeah, a lot of people do it. And if you don't believe me, you can try to like make a rim light in, for example, Blender, in like a 3D rendering software or something like this, and you will see that it really takes a powerful lamp to create a nicely looking like rim light. It will take like some sliders to go really up. And here I am also color picking because this is one of the things that my art director taught me. The color picking is not necessarily bad because like I'm kind of practicing rendering the things just by using the reference. So since I want to first and foremost have a nice painting, I shouldn't really care if I just like copy it or not. I really love the way he did the eyes. Like, it's crazy that on this, like basically this is the same resolution. How in the name of the Holy Spirit you pack so many details in something this small? Like this is the most mental part for me. Like it seems like they have more pixels than I do. Like I feel like this thing is 10 times more, like it's in full quality display, not like 200% zoomed in. Let me try to emulate those eyes because I want my guy to have really nice eyes. So first we need like a black. Second thing is he is missing an entire cheekbone. Why no one told me this, that he is missing a cheekbone? The third thing is, I like the flame in the face, but not looking like this. So let me remove it first. Then I will re-add it, but in a nicer manner. I will leave the rim light though on a nose ring. So we are taking a step back to take several steps forward. Or maybe I won't even give him the flamey mouth. Now, when I look at this like this, I kinda like it. I want to enjoy the amount, increase the amount of teeth inside his face. So he appears a bit more creepy. And you could see some teeth inside the face. Some highlights on some of the teeth. And oh boy. I really wonder how many hours he spent on painting this. It's crazy. But as far as I know, the guy is like twice my age. So I got it's nice. I still have time to catch up on him. I really like how these guys deal with some darker parts of the face. Some rim light in here, really subtle rim lights in here to bring a bit some of the details back to the face. This area is protruding a bit more. Yeah, I'm planning to go way above what I wanted to do. Most likely it would take me another 15 episodes, finish this, so we will end up with episode 15 out of 2 that I initially wanted to make, but I really need to work on my rendering skills, so I feel like I should try to reach my limits with it. And also, since the team that I'm working with is so extremely fucking good with rendering everything that I just cannot allow myself to lag behind, because their skills are the fire. So I will try to do my best to not fall behind. Also, I will need to make a safe copy soon, a backup copy, because as I said, a friend of mine recently almost lost her file due to just corrupted file or whatever, but thankfully I managed to kind of solve it, some parts of it, which is nice. So yeah. The areas like this, darker and more saturated. And also recently I have seen a really cool speech by Arnold Schwarzenegger when he was talking about why only 2% of people, more or less, or something like this, succeed in doing anything. And it was all because a lot of people are, as he named them, naysayers. So basically they try to bring you down Yeah, I mean, if I would like lose it and just have to redo it, then like, well, shit happens. Like, really, I have learned to not really care about my paintings that much quite some time ago. So, shit happens. Especially since this is like a personal type of a thing. I don't really like want to, like, this is not a commission, or this is not like a job related type of a stuff. If I would like lose a file that I have been working for like 2 weeks, and it would be like a work file, then I would like scream. But like I can only scream at myself because I have not done a backup file. But for personal stuff, of course I would be upset a bit, but I don't really care that much. Yeah, that's true. Like, this is like the reason why I have not been drawing for like a really long time in sketchbook. Like, I still don't, because I just don't like it. I prefer to sketch on Photoshop, in Photoshop and everything, but I was like, nah, you can't do it, you will waste paper and yada yada. And I was just like bringing myself down. So yeah. But now again, when like, since I am a full-timer now, the cool part is I'm drawing like every single day. So maybe not necessarily the things that I would like to draw, because sometimes I get like the tasks that are like way out of anything that I would do personally. But this is also a really cool experience, since like I can step out of my comfort zone, like completely out of it. So okay. Now let's make the eyes. So I do believe it will be actually much easier to paint the eye in a bigger scale. So I would paint like one eye, and then I will just like make it smaller. So I want it to be like this deep fiery red. Do I want like the black pupil? Let's see. We will see. I want the eye to look feral. I want it to like look kind of crazy, one could say. Okay, the light is from the top, right? So reflection should be like in here. And now let's just yeah. Yep, the idea of like making the eye. Okay, I need to remove this one to make the eye like a smaller thing is nice. And one of the eyes can actually be like almost like a dot. So it will be like a glowing dot, because basically you won't be able to, like, since the light reflects in a different way. So yeah, and now the other thing that he really made nicely is the entire thing, the entire like eye socket is much darker. Everything in the eye socket is darker, except you can see a bit of like a top eyelid, like a bit of it, which brings a little bit more like human look to it, like a little bit more intelligent look to it, and it really gently brightens the area with like this red light. So an extremely gentle type of a detail is happening in here. Really like how he like emphasizes those areas in here. Yeah, but the idea to just paint the eye bigger and then to make it like smaller is a really nice idea. Hide a bit of this eye. And I want to make this eye a little bit more like devilish, so it will be a bit more closed from like the bottom part of it. So it will be a bit elongated to the back. So this way it looks a bit more okay-ish, I guess. I will stream for like 30 more minutes or something like this. And I will have to go since I still have some work to finish. But yeah, going above and beyond with rendering on this fella will be a challenge. Yeah, but I also like wake up quite late. Because I usually like stay awake for like a longer period of time, and then so I basically start working around like when normal people start eating dinner or something like this. Usually it's like around. Wait, I have no idea how to say it. At noon, 12 at noon. But yeah, I prefer to like work later in the day. Like, I mean, I have two modes. I either wake up at 6 o'clock, do everything like in the morning, and then I start working at 8 o'clock. This is completely fine for me. Or I prefer to like start working at like 12 noon, and then I can work starting at around 10 or like 2 p.m., 3 p.m. or something like this completely does not work for me. So, and usually since I prefer to like work at night, I tend to sit for a longer period of time on the work type of a thingies. But I like where this guy is going. I feel he is getting an upgrade, a quality upgrade is happening in here. So, which is nice. So basically, because I try to work around 8 hours per day, so usually like I work for like 4 hours, take a break, or 2 hours, take a break, 3 hours, take a break, and basically I'm sitting next to a PC for like, I don't know, 14 or 16 hours or something like this, And during that time I do pretty much everything, from the breaks, from all the work that I want to do for today, without like burning myself out, because I strongly believe even if the work is cool, and even if the project is extremely cool, even if everything is cool, then you should still like maintain your like mental health, and don't try to like over deliver all the time, because you will burn yourself out. And if you would burn yourself out, then you will be like a no use for any project. And since I know what my limits are, I know how to like pace my work. And it's also like a thing that you like need to learn with time. So yeah, I guess this is like another skill that artists should have. Yeah, I'm actually trying to go to the gym like every second day. And basically now I am doing just that. Like every second day I am at the gym at some point during the breaks, and also from time to time I'm running. So I really like keeping my like physical health in check too. So yeah, I got this covered. Because this is like a number one problem I think with the artists. We have like a shitty site, and I have to go to like the optometrist, like to buy some glasses to protect my eyes from the screen, because like I do have I don't know how to say it. Wait. Visual defect. It's like -1 or something on my eyes. So if something is like far away, it gets kind of blurry, and my eyes get a bit tired when it's like really, really dark. But yeah, other than that, everything is fine. But also my mother have like a bad side, like visual defect sounds wrong. Like she has like the defect in the eyes, so I kind of think no matter what I would do, I would get one of those, no matter what. So, but I just need to like keep it in check. So it won't like get really, really much worser. Get worser. I don't think worser is a word. So it won't get worse. Okay, I don't feel like rendering horns right now. And I feel like the face went in a good direction from something like this to something like this. It looks relatively okay. The nose area is a bit too dark for my liking. But I mean, you gotta work with what you have. So my genetics, I believe, are far from perfect, but they are okay. Like I don't really have many problems. Like sometimes I get a nosebleed or something like this, but I'm also not really going easy on energy drinks. Now I need to kind of like limit myself from drinking too much of them, because recently like I think the high pressure kind of got me a nosebleed. But it's also was really like subtle, so yeah, I did. The second like season is really good, but I much more prefer the first one. it's much better in my opinion. So, but it is good. I really enjoyed it. I also feel like the rim light not necessarily would be in here. Most likely will be slightly in here. Webs. Maybe like slightly in here. There should be like a really gentle touch with it. Yeah, and also I think I prefer the first part because it's like this is usually what happens with like the first parts. They tend to just be better. It was kind of short. For my liking, like I feel some episodes could be much longer, but well, you gotta work with the stuff that you have. I'm trying to search for a painting of Wei Wang where you can see the shoulder of an orc, and here it is. Because I do need to, I do want to like see. And this is also pretty much the perfect reference for me, so what is nice. So I want to see how he achieves some things. And this is also the detail that I really like this brighter outline around the darker spot on the chest, for example. It really works wonders. So for example, now I have like a chesticle in here. It will introduce this like brighter line. And this is like the main reason why I should use references, because stuff like this like extremely hard to come up with stuff like this on your own. Like it might happen like in a week, like after a week, and it might happen after like 4 years. So if there's like one thing that I highly suggest to you is just use the fuck ton of references. Never enough of references. And yeah, at this moment I'm totally simping for Wei Wang artworks. Like at this point at my current goals, he is like complete numero uno for everything that he does. And it's kinda a shame that he does not have any YouTube channel or something like this, because oh boy, I would watch like every single thing. I would like go to sleep like looking at his stuff. What I actually do, like with a lot of other artists that have like a YouTube channels. For a really long period of time, we were just like placing a phone next to a bed and just watching like a movie when someone was painting, or some like art streams or whatever. A friend of mine once told me he went to sleep watching my stream, so yeah. I don't know how to feel about it. So he told me I have a very calming voice and he just fell asleep. But yeah, I guess sleep well. Ah, okay, do I want to connect the layer of the armor to the actual body at the moment? Yes, I do, but without the axe. So the axe is in here. In here we have the armor. I will miss those shoulder armor, but I feel like With it, it looks cooler. The face is okay. Yeah. Now I can work on it. Yeah, I mean, I have a relatively low voice as far as I know, but when I am talking a lot during the day, then my voice sometimes goes really high. Like even though I am really past my like puberty and everything, sometimes I still like squeal or like my voice breaks and goes really high. But I guess this just happens. Especially when I'm drunk, I tend to like really emphasize on the way I am speaking, and sometimes I go to the high notes. So yeah, stuff happens. And for the metal to look really cool, I think different shades of gray are needed in it. So I just can't use one shade of gray. I need to use 50 shades of gray. Whoa, that joke. To make it look cool. But basically at this point it's just like render. And it might be a bit hard to not overdo the metal because I have a tendency to like overdo the rendering on the metal in this like bad manner, so everything is too shiny, I guess, at some point. But the fact that I'm aware of it is okay. Like start eliminating this manner. Okay, not every single spike I want to render right now, and I would need to cover some of them, most likely. It's like the rim light for the armor, rim light for the spike. It's the rim light. Should not go like this. Hello, Mirosław Kostov. Thanks. I was also maybe thinking, because like the channel is like I don't want to say I abandoned it, but I kinda did recently, do all the work and everything. But soon like the maybe 2,000 of subscribers will be there. So I was thinking about like making a really long stream, because this is apparently what you have to do as a streamer, to deliver longer streams. Maybe then I will like try to finish this guy, because I feel like he will take me several more hours like to get close to finishing him. Also, a thing that I really like is like this texture type of a thingies on the chest. They really like make the job done in those nice manner. Do I have a brush that does this? What are you doing, brush? Oh, it does exactly this. But why so many colors? Maybe you? Oh, maybe you. Oh, this is the brush to add skin texture. Nice. If you're adding a skin texture, actually, it's really good to go with like a lower res type of a details first, and then paint on top of them, so it might actually look better. Let me just connect those guys together. Yeah. At the moment, I got hired at Share Creators. I have no idea how much I can say about the project, so I won't say anything at all. But I used to do a freelance for over 7 years. Now I'm finally not a freelancer, which is kind of cool because I don't have to worry about the commissions and everything. But also that like the stakes are a bit higher, which is, in my opinion, cool because like I can improve in a faster pace and everything. But of course there are no benefits of like being a freelancer, so I basically can say, okay, I do not work today because I can't say it, or at least I should not say it. Yeah, basically, let me search for the sprite. I have no idea if I do have it still here, but I do have it in here. This is the sprite for it. So I basically tried to like redesign and illustrate some monsters from Diablo 1. And I slightly changed the design of the, like this is the first one that I really changed the design of. So I added all these metal parts and everything because I really feel like this dude needs it. I kind of got tired of like drawing naked demons. So yeah, basically Slayer is like the first version of a pit lord from Diablo 2. It's basically the same monster, just named differently, I guess. And yeah, I mean, Manorotu is like the demon from Warcraft, and I'm basically at the moment referencing the Warcraft type of a thing is from by Wei Wang and some stuff from Hobbit and Shadow of Mordor because I really like those as references. So yeah, I'm glad. I'm glad it looks like something from this world. So it's okay. As you can see, also the dots on the chest really like introduced a lot of cool details to the skin. So I think I will try to keep them. And since I really like prefer this type of an armor where the armor actually grows from the body of a demon or is imbued to it, because it like makes much more sense in my opinion, then I will combine what I like into one thing. And also this demon type of a guy don't really seem to like care that he got enhanced with some metal parts. Like I guess they do like pain. So if you are a demon, you like pain. It's that simple. You can't let yourself not like pain. So yeah. I feel like streaming for another hour. I really enjoy this guy. So, yeah, I mean, I'm glad you enjoyed the stream. If it speaks to you, then yeah, I'm glad it does. When did you start drawing? It's a bit of a tough question since I have been drawing since like forever, because I always enjoyed drawing really much. But I started taking it a bit more seriously, like really a bit more seriously around the age of like 13, 14. And then also I started searching for like some courses and whatnot in the place where I live. I found some courses, some of them were like a total and utter shit, some of them were like decent. And around the first class of high school, so I was 16, I guess, around 16, then I got, like, I was attending the classes of Dariusz Walczak, rysownik, this guy. What? Of this guy, and basically all the basics I got from him. Then I went to Domin. Then I was teaching at I started teaching at Domin in the school where I like learned for like several years, 2 or 3. Now I don't anymore, and now this is like, yeah, this is my job, my full-time job. I am doing art for a living, which is extremely fucking cool if you ask me. I can't imagine having like any other type of an art of a job. Like if I were to like sit in a gastro or to work like directly with people, like I mean face to face, I would die and scream because I heard stories from my friends how people behave, and yeah. I'm glad you think it. I'm really glad you enjoy the things that the artists do. Yeah, it's also one of the things I guess I was discussing about on the previous stream. Like, I wonder how I would look, like how I would perceive art if I were not like doing it. So how different I would perceive it, and it's kind of weird for me to like imagine something like this. But I guess the feeling is similar when I, for example, listen to music, and I really enjoy listening to music, but just in a visual manner. So yeah. Yeah, I mean, Mr. Dark is a great teacher. As he used to say, he is better at teaching than in drawing. And he is still an amazing artist, but I couldn't agree more. He's much better at teaching than at drawing. So yeah, like he's a master in what he is doing, and the quality just goes up. And yeah. The best play, basically just take a pencil or whatever and just enjoy your time with it. Like, the biggest thing, the worst thing that you can do is to stress that you can't draw. If you will stress that you can't draw, you would associate a negative feelings with it, and if you do so, then you won't enjoy drawing. So the first thing is to chill with it and just have fun. Then it all depends on your goals. If you like just drawing for the sake of drawing, then just do it. With time you will like naturally get better. If you have like a goal, so for example you want to like work on games or whatever, then maybe think about something a little bit more structurized. So think what your weaknesses are and then try to address them like one by one in a small steps, to not like to avoid tackling too complex of a task too early. And for the topics, if you enjoy drawing dragons, draw dragons. If you enjoy like drawing dwarves, draw dwarves. because in the end you can learn a geometry, you can learn a perspective, you can learn pretty much everything just by drawing like dwarfs, for example. So let me show you, for example, hammer dwarf. So if you were to, for example, draw, let me search for like a really, to draw like this type of a guy, like this guy, it basically requires you to know like your perspective and to like know your geometry and everything before you can like paint this type of a guy. You need to understand geometry, because otherwise it will be like just impossible for you to like paint something like this. It will be just out of the question. So yeah, at the beginning I suggest start with a drawing to get familiar with it, because in painting, like, you can do stuff like this in here. You can suggest a lot of things, and if you will suggest a lot of different things, it does not necessarily mean you understand them. If you know how to draw something, then it like basically requires you to know how it looks like. So yeah, this is for this. And for the topics, if you don't know what to draw, just go with a really basic solids, so like cubes, cylinders, spheres, just basically everything, because like everything is made out of them. So for example, if we were to look at this guy, basically the fingers are like cylinders, the biceps are cylinders that are like softened on the bottom part. You could say there's a sphere with the diameter of a cylinder in his bicep. Basically all the muscles are tubes, the fingers are just cylinders, tusks are just like cones that are bent a bit. This type of a thing is like just a part of a cylinder. So for example, like to draw this type of a shoulder pad, you need to understand that there is a surface and it like bends in here, and that it bends in here, and it can bend like in here. So in here it will look like this, and then it can like bend in here, and then it has like a thickness or something like this, and then there are like the second type of an armor like this underneath it. So basically it's like a basic geometry. Drawing everyday objects is a really good practice with it, but it takes time. It will take us several years to like get accustomed to it. For me, I'm still learning this type of stuff daily, because like, even though I know how to, like, I have a strong theoretical base, I still struggle with doing some stuff. So yeah, this is just it. I'd like to know where you began. What are things you could learn when you began? To be honest, it's really hard to say, because some things I had to understand them on my own without like someone saying me them. So if someone would tell me just draw like 1000 cubes in a perfect perspective, rotate them all around, and just do this and you will get better, most likely I would doubt it if someone would tell me something like this, unless they would give me a really good explanation for it. But most likely I still wouldn't listen to them. I would draw what I enjoy. But after like years of drawing, I see that, for example, okay, if I want to get better at this and that, I need to learn how to draw those cubes. So it took me, let's say, 5 years to understand what this someone told me is a truth, that it is a truth. But simply I don't think I was just ready for that truth at that time. So so this is the one thing. And to avoid, I don't think you should avoid in particular anything to get better. Like whatever keeps you going. Like, of course, there will be like exercises that are better, and there will be exercises that are worst. For example, for me, some exercises just works better. It's exactly as in the gym. So what works for you does not necessarily mean it will work for everyone. But the thing is, if you try something and if you fail with it, and if it was a bad exercise, you needed to make the bad exercise to know that it is a bad exercise for you. So even if you are like failing with something, that depends on how you view the failure. I usually try to view a failure as like a learning lesson, so I know that, okay, maybe I failed with it, but it means, okay, now I know I don't want to do this way, and in the future I will just avoid this method or just evolve it somehow. I will know how to do it in a better manner. So there is this, I guess. And how do you know if it runs down if you drawn stuff correctly? This is also a tough question, but the basic idea is if you feel something is not right, but you cannot really pinpoint it, it means it is correctly drawn for you at the moment at your level skill cap. There is a way, there is a moment where you will draw something and you will feel like it's extremely off, and you will just see, okay, it's off in here, in here, in here, in here, but you still don't know how to like rework it. Most likely it means it's just badly drawn. And the other thing is, I have been teaching drawing and everything for, like, as I said several times, for over 7 years. And I have seen so many different mistakes done by students that at the moment now I kind of know where to look for them, I would say. Because it all comes down, like, it boils down to the basic of perspective and geometry. So for example, if, like, or let's say if I were to draw like a cylinder like this and the cylinder like this, I just want to kind of exaggerate the issue. I know the one on the left is a little bit more like proper, but the one on the right is not really a cylinder. And I know it because if you take like a long axis, then the short axis should go through the middle of it with the 90 degrees angle, and the short axis basically directs the shape of a geometry, which is not the case in here. This one is bent. But if I were to draw like a bend, so a pipe that from the side looks like this, then this one is a perfectly fine thing. So it's okay. And for example, if I were to draw a cube, and if I would go with something like this, then I could say, okay, this is like an okay cube, because basically it follows the perspective. We have two vanishing points and everything. Everything seems like more or less okay with it. But if I were to draw like a cube with something like this, then it does not really look correct. And it's the same thing with like stuff like in here. If the geometry is bad, you will like see it. Yeah, but I mean, a lot of people won't know that this is a good cylinder, and at some point they will draw this type of a cylinder in their artwork, and they will try to justify it like, okay, this is not a mistake, I wanted it to look like this. But then you see like the same mistake over and over again in their artworks, like in several different places, and it kind of shows that, okay, this was not a mistake, this person just don't know how to draw it, and it just shows. So and usually with the things that if I want to learn if something is like badly drawn, I just send my artwork to someone, like to a friend of mine, and ask, okay, what do you think? And usually I will get like a response of like, oh, you messed up in here, in here, in here, and in here. So yeah. Ruan Gia style. In my opinion, it's completely mental awesome, and I have no idea how he does it. It's crazy, and he is crazy, but yeah, he is just like top tier artist. Like, it's really hard to be better than him. So personally, I really admire his artworks. Where's my brush for the skin texture? It's not you. you? No. Why have I lost the school brush already? Ruan Gia. It's okay because I'm having a multi-stream and I don't have a chat on a screen. The other guy asked about Ruan Ruangea, Ruan Gia style. He is basically like a modern master, one could say. Like it's really hard to be better at him than him. Is this? No, this is not the brush. Where is my brush that I have used for the skin texture? Which one it was? Why is this one? Like, seriously, where is this brush? It's not this one, it's not this one, it's not this one. This one? No, it's not this one. It's not this one. Oh, okay, it's this one. Ah, no, this is also for skin, but okay, I'll copy it in here. This is also cool. Man, where is this brush? Why it is not in here anymore? I guess this one will have to make up for the other brushes. Okay, I will stream for like 30 more minutes, take a break, and then I will go back to work. Still some things needs to be done, but a bit of a progress is made on this guy, since, as you can see, I have a really awesome reference on the left that basically solves all my problems that I had with the forearm in here. So yeah, this is cool. I kinda wish I have saved how the demo looked before, but I will be able to like soon view it on the stream, so I will check the progress here. I kinda also, I said on the previous stream that I will like randomize the next monster that I will do. I don't know if I want to like know at this point what will be the next one. I kind of feel like I want to finish this one first and then check. And a really cool detail that you always should add is a vein. A bicep vein is like the numero uno detail to add. The most important vein in fantasy. Yeah, I know how it looks like. Yeah, but I mean, if you feel something is too hard for you, just make it simpler. Draw a portrait of this person, of this character. Draw a weapon of this character. Draw a leg of this character. Just simplify the task. And if you simplify it like good enough, then it will just be easier, because like in the end, as I said, everything that I do in here at the moment is just like simplification of forms. So for example, if you were to take Michael Hampton art, Michael Hampton, For drawing, for example, humans, let me search for like a good example, like in here, for example. As you can see, you don't necessarily need to know how to draw the entire human figure at some point. You need to practice with the boxes first, because if you understand how you can like connect two boxes and twist them, then basically drawing a torso that is like twisted is adding layers of complexity to it, because then you add more complex shape of like the pelvis, more complex shape of a rib cage, more complex shape of a muscle, more complex shape of skin folds, more complex shape of a tissue, fat, and everything. And yeah, this is pretty much it. So this is how you can approach doing stuff like this. It's just simplify. This will be like, okay, answering the previous question, if I were to like give myself a tip, like myself from the future would give me a tip, it would be just don't stress, simplify everything. Like everything that is complex, like the complex things are made out of simple elements, and you can really easily search for those elements and you can like understand them. And yeah, and just continue doing what you are doing. Like I can't say I wish I have done something differently, because I would not be where I am at the moment if I would do something differently. So this is not really a thing that I would change. Okay, maybe I would find like a similar work like 5 years earlier, but I have no problem with it that I found it like right now. Everything is cool for me at this point with it. So yeah. I don't like this vein in here. And even now, when I am like learning stuff, because sometimes I'm like, I mean all the time, I'm buying some different tutorials, and after like a year, after buying them, I start watching them and everything and study them properly. There are several tutorials that I just wish I have discovered earlier, because they like really unlocked a lot of cool knowledge in my head. But again, it like boils down to the point where I needed to have a problem, and after like many years I found a solution to it. So I would say it is even more beneficial. Yeah, if you... Oh, the hours per day, this is like a kind of shit ass question, because sometimes some people will be able to like, I mean, okay, this is a good question, but the idea behind this question is kind of dumb, but a lot of people don't know it. The idea with the hours is some people are able, they are just able to like paint and draw for like 10 hours a day without any problems whatsoever, and everything will be perfect. Some other folks will have like a concentration span for like 1 hour, and after 1 hour they are dead and there's like no more painting for them. It just happens. And the person number one, okay, can feel good because they were like painting for 15 hours, and of course they will make like a faster progress because they like worked for 15 hours. This person will like develop faster than someone who only can like spend an hour per day. But there's nothing you can do with it if after 1 hour you feel like completely tired. So the hours per day is a really weird way of comparison, because on the other hand, you can have someone who would like only draw for like 2 hours a day, but they will learn much more efficient and much quicker than someone who spends like 15 hours on something. And in this case, someone who is like doing 7 times less job, more or less, is having a better output, which does not make sense. So I would say just draw if you feel like drawing. You will feel when you have enough, and you will feel when you still have like some steam in yourself. Usually what I try to do is when I feel, for example, when I'm sketching that, okay, I have no idea, I have no ideas, this is like the last sketch, I usually try to like force myself to like produce several more sketches. And this way I know like I'm pushing forward my ability to like sit and work on a certain thing. And by work I just mean draw, because in my case it's like a work, but I don't associate it with like a negative type of a connotation, I guess is the word, because some people don't like to talk about art as a work. So yeah, just so you know. And and sometimes I could say, like now, easily I am going for like 8 hours a day, easily. Even now, I have been drawing for like 2 hours or something like this. I have been working for like 5 hours at this point, or 6 hours maybe, including some breaks. And I still feel like I will take a break for like 1 hour, and I will be good to go for like another 2 hours maybe. And this is basically my daily schedule right now. But when I was like learning, or when I was like on freelance, sometimes I just did not felt like drawing or painting, because there was no pressure, or I just knew I still, even if I will work slowly, I will still meet a deadline. So I felt no pressure to work, to draw or paint. And I was like sometimes drawing for like 1 hour a day, sometimes 4, sometimes 8. That really depends. And of course, if I would draw more, then I would develop faster. But I also really enjoy going out with friends of mine. So I won't only work all the time. So for the hours per day, just if you feel you are not drawing enough, draw more. If you don't feel if you feel you are drawing like too much, then just go a bit easier on yourself. As I said, burning yourself out quickly won't bring you nothing good. Just maintain a healthy balance with it, and with time you will like teach yourself to like work for longer periods of time. This is a thing that I have learned while I was studying, because then like I had a deadline, I had to meet it, and there's no like I don't feel like drawing or designing, or I don't feel like painting. I was like, okay, I have to do it, and I would just do it. So yeah. I mean, they designed the Slayer, and basically the same monster as in Diablo 2. This is a really good monster, I would say. Like, this is still like one of my favorite monsters of all the time from every single game that I have ever played. So, I mean, it's their thing, so they can use it anywhere they want it. And if you have any other questions, feel free to ask them. Like, I will be in here for like 15 more minutes, so I will gladly answer everything. Also, it's a bit easier even for me to paint and talk at the same time, because I just switch off my brain from thinking to like make it look good, and then I usually render better if I don't think at all. I just try to like make a good art then, and it just works. So asking a question actually helps me with painting, because my brain is like thinking on the other things. Where do I start drawing the... I have no idea. Wait. Usually I would say the torso. The torso, because with the torso, like I try to deal with the biggest mass first. So if I have the head, I'm like, the torso give me the biggest amount of information for the entire body, I guess. Maybe this is not the case, but I tried to several times to start with the head. Oh, I can, but yeah, I just prefer the torso. To start with the torso. To start with the torso. Yeah, 4 hours a day is plenty. Uh, this is also one of the things that a lot of different artists are not aware of, especially the beginners. Art is not necessarily hard because you need to like draw. Art is hard because it's really easy to get in this mental trap where you just bash yourself for like not doing enough, even though you are like doing quite a lot. And this is just the problem with art. Like, if you are stressing that you are not doing enough, then you will do even less because you are stressed. If you are stressed, you don't really want to put any work into anything, which basically makes no sense. And in the end, you will just end up like limiting yourself completely just because you think you need to do more, when in the reality you are doing enough. And yeah, and also because this is like, I would say, a highly competitive field, because as some teachers say, like, if you are not practicing, someone else is practicing. But again, maintain a healthy relationship with art and everything will be fine. Feel confident. I mean, to be honest, even if you like know shit about drawing or painting, you can always try to like sell it somehow. Just the success rate will be much slower, much lower, not slower, and it might be discouraging to continue because you will like feel bad that no one is like ordering anything from you. So one of the tips I could give you is don't follow the art at the beginning for money, because most likely you will not enjoy it as much. Like, you need to like it first. Like, you really need to like it first to be able to like work with it. So if you don't like it, the fact that you are getting paid won't change much. You will still don't like your art. Like, you still won't like what you are doing, which is not good. I would say first, just try to like art, to just do art, level up your skills. Just post your stuff online, and at some point, someone will like order something from you. In my case, as I said, I guess on the previous stream, I never applied to any job. Like, I mean, I once said a CV because I felt like, okay, maybe I will just move out abroad and I will try to like work in some sort of studio. One studio just replied that they are not hiring at the moment, but if they would, I should work on this, and that, and then we can talk. And I was like, okay, thanks. And like, 2 hours later, I got a commission, and it have been going like this since, like pretty much forever. And even for like this full-time position that I was really happy to get. It was like they contacted me, not I contacted them, which is cool. I have still no idea how I got this job. I need to ask my art director, like, what is the reason, like, who 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 thought I will be okay pick for a job. But yeah, this is pretty much all I could say about it. And also on Fever, most likely. This is okay site. I mean, if you like just want to earn some like, quick money, I guess it's perfectly fine. But on Fever, most likely you won't earn money that should be earned with this type of a profession. Because some people do not really. Oh, I made this shiny. Some people don't really know how much art does cost, and how much it should cost, and how much it actually costs to produce a game or something like this. This is not like a common knowledge, so I don't blame anyone for it, but this is just how it is. But as I say, just do your thing and just post, be online, just post your stuff. Don't be afraid to post your stuff. There is a huge chance that someone will just see your artworks on some like Facebook page, and they would like to make a commission to you, like order something from you. So at this times to get a work as an artist, you need to have an online presence. It will be extremely hard, no matter how good you are. If no one knows you exist, then no one will hear you, because like no one knows you exist. So yeah, there was back in the days when I was like starting out, and this caveat, I guess this is the word, that a beginner artist shouldn't like really upload their artworks anywhere, because you will be associated as a medium quality artist or something like this. You should only like upload your works when you are good enough, so you will be like associated with like a good artist like from the beginning. This is utter bullshit, I would say. If you do something, just post it online. Like, people enjoy looking at nice pictures, so at some point you will just get better, so you will produce a better artworks. And to be honest, when do you even know like that, okay, this is worth posting, I'm good enough? In my case, the best artworks that I have done, the most popular artworks, were the ones that I felt like, oh my god, this is shit. And when I did a artwork that I was like, okay, this is the bomb, this will like get me so many likes and exposure and everything, no one gave a flying fuck about those artworks. So yeah, it's just luck. You never know. At these times, you never know when you go viral or something like this. It's basically impossible to like predict. Oh, hello, Ataberg. It's really perfect, mate. Okay, I guess this will be end for today. Quite a progression on this guy. To be honest, I'm kind of surprised that it looks like this. It looks much better than I expected. So let me just go to the beginning of the stream to see how he looked like in the beginning. And let me compare. Current screen. Whoops. Because I forgot to save him. Like, whoa, almost a perfect size in like a quick. Yeah, there is a progression. It looks much more demonic. I really like the armor on him. Thanks, Hobbit. It looks okay. And thanks Wei Wang for great references. I would die without them. So yeah. It's okay. I like the leg piece. Leg piece is my favorite piece I have done in a while. So yeah, this will be all for today. Okay, I can't wait. I need to see what monster is next. I'm really curious. Number 9 now will be the A6. So let's see what is under A6. Fucking hell. Oh my god, another skeleton. Oh, I wish I have not unraveled this card. Oh boy. Oh, this is a shit fest. Soon I will do like every single skeleton. I have done like 3 skeletons in a row. Shit. Okay, now I have to enjoy the hell out of this guy because the next one is a skeleton. Burning Dead Archer. At least this is an archer, not like corpse axe or horror. Oh fucking hell. Okay, yeah, so this will be all for today. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed the stream. I hope you learned something new. Thanks for watching and see ya to the next time. And also, I forgot, if someone is like watching just right now, this is Jihu. Oh, this is also a painting, the Miko I did. But I wanted to show this, why this is this big. Okay, now it's big enough. I finally, okay, it's small because it's on the screen, so it should be in here. What is going on? Not the rib cage. Wait. Okay. Okay. Okay, now it's too big. Transform. Fit the screen. Yeah. I finally finished the tutorial for the mecha, so if anyone would like to buy it and support me as an artist, go to just the jihu.cc or wingfox. It's basically the same page. And also there is a discount right now, like 30 or 80% off the tutorials. So if you want to learn how to make this, and I have finished it recently, and you would like to learn how I design stuff and yada yada with core knowledge points, silhouettes, line art, yada yada and everything, then this is like a tutorial that I have done. It's like 17 hours long, so woohoo, it's finally here. And yeah, this is everything for today, and thanks for watching, and to the next time, see ya.